July 16th, 1980. 2 in the morning. A family is awakened and taken to a basement. 20 minutes later, everyone is dead. But the most disturbing part, this was predicted 305 years earlier, in the exact same place. This is not a story about kings and queens. It's about a curse that crossed generations, about blood that doesn't clot, and a monk with demon eyes who predicted it all. 1613, Ipatiev Monastery. Mikhail Romanov is crowned Tsar by force. The monks resist. They are brutally expelled, while celebrations echo outside. Sinister words resound within. No Romanov will die in peace. And they wouldn't. Ivan VI was assassinated after 23 years of imprisonment. Peter III was strangled 6 months after coronation. Paul was beaten to death by his own guards. Alexander II exploded in a bomb in the middle of the street. Coincidence, but the true curse traveled invisibly, hidden in the family's very blood. In 1894, Nicholas II marries Alexandra of Hesse, granddaughter of Queen Victoria. She carries a deadly gene, a microscopic secret that would change history. After 4 daughters, Alexei is born. But in the first months, the devastating truth. Hemophilia, any cut could kill him. The future emperor of Russia was a crystal child who couldn't play, couldn't fall, couldn't live, desperate. The Tsarina meets Grigory Rasputin, a mystical monk from Siberia with penetrating eyes and a dark reputation, and the impossible happens. When Alexei's dying from bleeding, Rasputin merely prays, and the boy improves. Doctors cannot explain it. Rasputin is not just a healer. He influences political decisions, appoints ministers, interferes in affairs of state, an illiterate peasant controlling the imperial family. Rumors spread he and the Tsarina are lovers. He practices black magic. He is the devil himself. December 1916. Princes decide to eliminate Rasputin. They poison his wine with enough cyanide for 5 men. He drinks and asks for more. They shoot him in the chest. He gets up and tries to escape. They shoot again. He still moves. They throw him in the frozen river. Autopsy reveals he died by drowning. He was still alive. His last words were a prophecy. If I die by the hands of nobles, the Romanov family will not survive 2 years. Rasputin dies in December 1916. In February 1917, the Russian Revolution begins. In March, Nicholas II abdicates. The curse was closing in. 300 years of dynasty end, not with glorious battle, but with a trembling signature on a stopped train. The family is imprisoned, first in the palace, then in increasingly remote locations, from emperors to prisoners, in months. The Grand Duchesses who wore diamond tiaras now wash clothes and clean floors. Alexei, heir to the throne, plays in the mud. But something worse is coming. Civil war erupts, and the Bolsheviks fear the Romanovs will be rescued. The family is transferred to Yekaterinburg, to a house requisitioned from a merchant. The name of the house, Ipatiev House, the same name as the monastery where the first Romanov was crowned 305 years earlier. The curse returned to its point of origin. The circle closes. On the night of July 16th, 1918, Commander Yakov Yurovsky awakens the family at 2 a.m. He says the city is unstable and they need to go down to the basement. Nicholas carries Alexei in his arms. The boy is too weak. Alexandra asks for chairs. They pose for a photograph. Then Yurovsky reads an execution sentence. 11 men enter with revolvers. The Romanovs have seconds to comprehend. Nicholas barely manages to say what before the first shot. The noise is deafening. Smoke fills the air. But something bizarre happens. The bullets ricochet off the women's bodies. The duchesses had sewn jewels and diamonds into their corsets, creating accidental bulletproof vests. The executioners panic. When weapons are not enough, they use bayonets. The massacre lasts 20 interminable minutes. Blood on the walls, on the ceiling, pools on the floor. 11 bodies. The Tsar, the Tsarina, 5 children, the doctor, 3 loyal servants. Even Anastasia's little dog is killed. The Romanov dynasty is literally erased from Earth in a single night. 305 years end in 20 minutes of absolute horror. The Bolsheviks load the bodies onto a truck to a remote forest. They pour acid on the faces to prevent identification. They partially burn some bodies. They bury them in a mass grave. For decades, the location would be a mystery. Moscow announces that only Nicholas was executed. The family is in a safe location. Lies. In the following years, dozens emerge claiming to be Romanov survivors. The most famous is Anna Anderson, who for 60 years insists she is Anastasia. She knows intimate details. She has compatible scars. Family members are divided. DNA tests prove in 1994. Polish imposter. Why did so many want to believe? Perhaps because the truth was unbearable. An entire family massacred, including children. It was easier to believe in mysterious survivors, in supernatural curses, in fulfilled prophecies. The myth of the curse became more comfortable than the brutal reality. Cold political murder. Nothing mystical, just pure human violence. In 1979, an amateur geologist finds the mass grave. It was the Soviet era, revealing this is dangerous. He keeps the secret until 1991, when the Soviet Union collapses. Tayi excavate 9 skeletons, 2 are missing. Alexei and one of the daughters. The remains are identified via DNA. It was real. The massacre happened. For decades, theories about the 2 missing bodies. Had they survived? In 2007, they find 2 more shallow graves. Remains of a teenage girl and a boy. DNA confirms. Alexei and Maria. The family is complete. Everyone died that night. There were no survivors. There were no miracles. But what if the true curse was never supernatural? Alexei's hemophilia came from Queen Victoria, who spread the gene through European royal houses. This royal disease influenced political decisions, caused disastrous alliances, brought Rasputin to power. A microscopic genetic mutation helped topple an empire. Other descendants of Victoria also had hemophiliac children. Prince Leopold dies at 30 from cerebral hemorrhage. Prince Friedrich of Prussia dies at 2 years old. Infante Alfonso of Spain dies at 31 in a minor car accident that causes fatal hemorrhage. The same mutation killing European royalty. A curse encoded in DNA. In 2000, the Orthodox Church canonizes Nicholas II and his family as martyrs. From tyrants to saints. Ipatiev House, where they were executed, was demolished by the Soviets in 1970. In its place, they built the church on blood. The site of the curse became a pilgrimage. It began in a sacred Ipatiev, ended in another. Some believe the curse never ended. Russia went through world wars, Stalinist dictatorship, economic collapse. Even today there is political instability and authoritarian echoes, as if the blood spilled that night still stains Russian soil. As long as the Romanovs have no peace, Russia won't either. The true curse of the Romanovs was not a spell from vengeful monks. It was the inability to adapt, the arrogance of absolute power, the weight of obsolete traditions. It was genetic disease that brought a charlatan to power. It was political violence taken to the extreme. It was human choices within human consequences. 300 years ended in a bloodied basement because empires built on privilege carry within themselves the seeds of their own destruction. That is the true curse. It doesn't come from outside. It comes from within.